a podcast where you don't need an invite to join the conversation. Welcome to Add Me to the Group Chat.
It was like, they flipped my hair. They was like, you got your hair done, and then you got, these lashes. Like,
Fuck them. Like, I do not care. We will pick you up and have ice cream. Like, it's fine.
Oh my gosh, that happened to me one time.
100%.
That's the word honor for me.
Yeah.
It grinds. Ooh,
and listen, I'm not judging you.
That's what I would drink.
We listen and we don't judge.
What's wrong with it though? Let's judge.
First of all, if I was you, I'd be looking over here too. You're trying to take notes.
So focused on, okay, what will they say? And
Right.
it's a good amount of days. So, but now it's just like, we're here.
Guess who's getting in a fight? He's like, I have to get in the fight. You're not getting in the fight because I'm going to fight somebody for hurting you. And I'm like, well.
It's like when she came down there, she said to me straight to my face, I can tell you what, if Miss Molina had been here today, none of this would have happened. I'm like, and that's a problem.
Recording.
You look cute.
Like, look at us.
And green. Now it's recording.
It's recording now.
Yes. How's your sound feel? Like in your ear, your mic? Is your mic on? Mm-hmm. Say something.
Jingle bells.
No, it's not on.
Okay, is it on now?
Why am I not hearing you?
Is it on now? Yeah, y'all. Wait, because this is on, right?
Oh, because this isn't on.
Wow, Amber.
That's it.
It's on now?
Now you can hear yourself, right?
Absolutely. I hear myself loud and clear.
Yeah, that's better.
ASMR.
Yeah, like that mic is so sensitive. It's a great mic. It's just really sensitive, and it picks up every slight movement. I hope I've been having issues with the sound, anyways, with this machine. So hopefully it doesn't act up today.
Yeah. Ooh.
Can y'all? Gosh, that is loud.
Baby. I'm not even yelling. Oh.
This is what happens when you have a guest.
Yeah. Whoa. You got the best of my love. Oh.
Cannot.
You got the best of my love.
Can you hear?
Yes.
What I hear? I'm going to turn it to 5.
I mean, yeah. Turn it down as low as you need to.
And then 6, 6, and 6. Okay, cool. Well, Courage is late. Oh, I can't wait to blow her up on this pod. Okay.
Ooh. She about to get it.
Jeris, what the crap?
What?
It feels so good to have you here.
Yes, I was like, what?
You know what really is annoying, though, is that we just have a busy schedule. Do you hear how sensitive that is?
You don't have a mic holder?
I know I don't. The budget's hopefully going to expand one day.
It's fine. I mean, I really want that mic, but it's fine.
I know.
Reschedule with Courage. Tell us you don't need to come today so I can have the mic.
But our lives, just schedules, don't
That part.
don't line up. So we're like, if it's for work, we'll be there. We'll make it happen.
Clock it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for today's pod. First of all, let me see these nails.
Girl, I need to fill in. Girl, okay, but thanks.
That's really pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really pretty. That reminds me of like art. Because it really is like nail art when the technicians get so excited about their work. That looks really good.
Ooh, thanks.
All right, we're going to talk about random things today.
And I'm very random.
Yeah, which makes me really happy. Jairus is like, how do I prep? I'm like, we're not prepping.
Yeah, I was like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I was like, okay, do I need to like have a topic? Do I need to think of something? Very much something. No, okay.
No, your reel last night, I was watching it. I think you posted it yesterday, but it was like about your childhood. And then you were talking about like how you went from Washington to Charleston, and then you were bullied, and then you started fighting. You know how much I was cracking up? Like, it low key, if it was like yesterday, it would be like, oh my gosh, that's really bad. Like, just a lot. But like, since that was like so many years ago, and me thinking about it, and I'm like, Jeris is like, bah, bah, bah. I'm like, this
literally
is
like
crazy town.
Like ready to.
Yeah.
what you say, don't make me jump over this table, like that kind of thing. I mean, it's still there. It's suppressed, but I do feel like
you're on go.
Yeah, like don't tempt me with a good time.
Was it like how you spoke? Was it what you looked like? Was it what you wore? Was it everything? I don't understand. I get bullying, like people are just punks and they're jerks and they're mean about everything. Sometimes it really is about like where you live or what you're wearing or whatever. But then sometimes it has no rhyme or reason. Kids are just like they're in a bad spot.
Absolutely.
So they're about to tear you up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, it's so stupid. Like why are y'all acting like little turds?
Literally.
Am I allowed to say that? Was that inappropriate?
No, this is an adult podcast. You can say anything else.
Turds?
What other word? Jerk?
Yeah, jerk.
I don't really cuss on this pod. I just am like, we don't need to be doing that.
Absolutely not. I don't cuss at all.
Yeah.
I've been delivered from cussing.
I know. It slips. When I get very mad, it's
we're gonna find filter words for you.
Yeah, I like fudge. Oh, yeah, little fudge sickle. I love it.
Like we gotta find some alternatives for you because I make up words. I be like, you little shumanumana. Like I just think I know.
What show? There was like a comedy show on TV years ago, but that's what they would do. They would just like say the most random off the wall words. Maybe it was a movie or something. Anyways. Yeah. Instead of actually using a cuss word, it was like that. But I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, cussing is the most stupid thing. Even if I do slip and say something,
it is very stupid.
I feel stupid. I don't feel cool. It is dumb. Yeah. I'm like, you look like an idiot. You are an idiot. Educate yourself and find a better word
in the dictionary.
I know there's a lot to choose from, guys.
Like, and the crazy thing is, I used to cuss really bad.
Oh my gosh! Did you lock the door? Yes. Yeah, I have a lot. First of all. I paused this. Shade. It is 11 o'clock, 30 minutes past recording.
You look cute.
Look at us.
Green.
And green.
Yeah, well, thank goodness we didn't wait around.
Okay, so back to my story.
Back to you, Bob.
So basically...
How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm so glad.
Okay, good. Jeris hates that she's not on that mic.
I really do.
Oh, why?
Pull it closer to you. I gave her headphones though because that mic is so sensitive.
Very sensitive. Like I'm trying to make sure I don't move. Oh wait, okay, let me finish my story.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically crazy thing about it, I did not have a Charleston accent then, but I guess when you live in a place for a long time, you start to sound like it. So they used to call me white girl because I had this very Washington-y type, suburban type accent. So
you were real polished.
Very polished. So they call me white. And the crazy thing about it is the people that bullied me, like, y'all are rocking J's and Tim's. And the crazy thing is, they made fun of me for rocking New Balance. And now what is everybody wearing?
New Balance is
Oh, yeah, I just bought a new pair.
Thank you.
When I think of New Balance, I think of Grandpa.
I paid more than I like to pay for sneakers.
Say it again.
I can tell you that right now.
So
I do not like paying that much.
I got bullied for my hair, but it's like, okay, so y'all don't like me because my parents cared about my appearance. Help me understand. I get my hair done every 2 weeks.
Yeah. If y'all don't know, Jeris she's a spoiled little diva princess.
She is.
I'm not grade spoiled. I'm loved.
It's a good thing. She's very, very, very loved.
Thank you.
Yeah, she comes from a great home.
Very amazing home. My childhood was
lit.
Wow. What grade was this?
Let's see. So I think we moved to Washington when I was like 11.
Oh, yeah. So you're like...
You were older.
Like 5th grade, middle school almost.
Yeah.
You were bullied in middle school?
Yeah. I was beating them up then, too. It's fine.
Which is funny because that's the age where you're really trying to find yourself and you're like, oh, this is kind of who I am. It's my personality. Like, everything's kind of coming to. And that just can... it can actually... You're lucky that you turned out the way you did.
Girl, let me tell you, because... And the thing about it is I got bullied for my personality. Like, I was always told, oh, you're too much. You're too loud. You have to simmer down. So I did that. So in any environment, I would be like, hey, I'm Jeris.
And then quiet. Oh, gosh.
I hate that for you.
You weren't like that at home. It was just like school
I was
stuff.
very loud at home. There were some days where I would just be in my room all day. And my parents would be like, mainly my mom, every 5 seconds. You good? Yes, mama. And my dad, Puddin', you good? You need me to go to the store? You want some snacks? No, Dad, I'm good. Like, but I realized that was really when It was giving a very depressed kid.
I bet.
Wow.
That's why they were probably really worried about you. Girl, you lucky they knocking on your door, not just leaving you in there.
Oh, no, they didn't leave me in it. Like, they would, I feel like they even incorporated, like, family days even the more. Like, we had it family day every Friday. Like, we had dinner together every night. But I feel like when they noticed, like, how much I was, like, pushing back, they were like, okay, no, we gotta step it up a notch. Something. And, I mean, it was cool, but my peers' opinions still matter the most.
I know.
Like, it held more precedence.
Wild in middle school you were bullied. I don't think I knew that.
What about high
They bully in high school too.
Was it worse?
You got bullied in high school?
No, I didn't get bullied in high school. No.
Just middle school.
I mean, I know that they do. First of all,
they bully bad in high school.
My mind just I literally cannot wrap my mind around bullying. I can wrap my mind around a lot of stuff that it's not okay, but I cannot wrap my mind around bullying. Like kids bullying, I just can't get that.
It's ghetto.
That's crazy.
And I never thought I would.
It's very high in my face.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like.
Now just tilt it.
This part.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look at this.
Right.
Okay.
Now.
This is what happens when you come late.
It does.
My apologies.
Well, I will say middle school before we get into high school, because y'all know I wasn't
talk
in
about adult bullies.
No, well, that, oh my God. Yeah, it's a lot. I wasn't in traditional high school, so I didn't really experience that. But middle school, I got picked on for my hair because my hair was so curly, and I didn't know how to control my hair. I didn't know what to do with it. It's funny because when I was like elementary school, my hair was like it is now. It's very curly, but my mom didn't put a bunch of product in it. But when you get older, you're trying to like fix your hair. And you're like, oh, well, people do this, so let me put this in
Gotcha.
it. So I was using straight up gel. Do you know how horrible gel is and how... Yeah.
One more time.
Sounds when it dries, it's like it just cracks.
Like crunch.
Yes, and people would just make fun of my hair, and it wasn't really females. Boys would walk past you and just like have something like slick to say.
They probably liked you too.
No, I don't think so. I wasn't really cute, actually. It's before I had like braces and stuff and my teeth got fixed. It's just a lot. I feel like, you go through an awkward stage.
Everybody goes through an awkward
stage. Oh, it was very awkward. But then I came to, and now look at me.
Period.
No, but yeah, middle school's rough. Kids are rude. That's why I'm hard on my kids, because I'm like, if you ever see somebody messing with someone, you stand up for them. If somebody ever messes with you, you look at them in the face and tell them they're freaking stupid. And if you have to clock them, clock them. Like, I do not care. We will pick you up and have ice cream. Like, it's fine.
Oh my gosh, that happened to me one time.
100%.
My dad, I'll never forget it. It was one day I got into a fight. Real crazy. Y'all, school didn't even start yet. Let's start there. So this girl, first of all, I fought somebody I didn't even know. Let's start there. And her cousins had beef with one of my cousins. Oh. So I won't forget. I walked into the cafeteria, y'all. This was breakfast.
Middle school still.
Yes. And this chick says, somebody told me you was talking about me. I looked at her. I said, girl, I don't even know you. So, y'all, all I remember is...
She blacked out.
Blacked out, it was given... I turned into, this big old Avenger. All I know is she pushed me.
Oh, my gosh.
And all I remember is I grabbed her hair. I grabbed her by the head, and it was like a wall right here. So, the cafeteria chairs and everything, and then there was a wall. All I know is I grabbed her head, and I just went boom. And then next thing you know, we was fighting on the tables. And then, I ended up in the principal's office.
Oh, my gosh.
And then, at the time, my grandfather was living, and he was living with us for, at the time being. And my dad and him, they were out and about. So, they called my mom. My mom she went up. That lady had a whole tizzy. She was...
A tizzy with the school or you?
No, with the school.
Okay.
No, her number one thing was, I hope you wore her out.
Okay.
So then my dad and my grandpa, they came.
Me and your mama would get along.
Oh, yeah.
I'm team. Take him down.
Right. So my dad was just Puddin', are you okay? I was hot. I went around 2 and 3 and 4. When we went in the principal's office, they had some of the staff were literally standing in between us because I was still, my blood was still boiling. All I remember is my dad came pick me up. They handled all the stuff. Crazy thing is I was suspended. The next week it was spring break. So I literally had a whole spring break and I couldn't come back the week after spring break. So stupid. All I remember is we got in the car and my dad was just like, "You okay?" But my grandfather, he was kind of like looking through the side of the seat, and he was like, "Did you get her? Did you get her?" and my dad was like, "Dad," he was like, "No, like don't encourage us." And then he was like, "Okay." He looked back, he was like,
Granddads are great that way.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I got suspended the first week of 8th grade because some girl was messing with my cousin. Like, girl, I don't know what you thought this was, but she was yelling that she would kill him, and she called him the N-word. That's it. I'm not asking questions. I don't care what happened. And so I hopped off that bench and on her behind like white on rice. And I just went up to the office like, yeah, let me go ahead and get my 10 days. Do not talk to me. Call my mother. I kept saying, call my mama. Call my mama. Don't talk to me. Don't try and say, oh.
It's like when you're a kid, it's not, I need my attorney and my lawyer.
No, just call my mom because I don't want to hear what you are trying to say. Well, Miss Patterson, there are a lot of racial slurs. Okay, cool. I said, if you want these folks around here calling you that, that's cool. I love that for you. But if somebody say that to me or my cousin, it is on site. And so that's it. We're done. So I got in trouble. I was suspended for 10 days. I was grounded. But when I saw my granddad, God rest his soul. He was like, hey, Sugar Lump, I heard you and Mutt was out there fighting. I was like, well, Pop, she called him the N-word. He was like, oh, well, I guess you did what you had to do. Here, go get you some lunch. Gave me $5, baby. I went and got me a sub from Big Joe's. Hey, yeah, granddads are great that way. Like, please stop playing.
Like, my whole family was like, I hope you wore her out.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, you do what you had to do. And initially it was like, well, I mean, she put her hands on you first, and the camera showed she put her hands on me first.
There were cameras there?
Yeah. Wow. They had cameras in that cafeteria everywhere.
Okay.
So it's like,
Yeah, I'm like, when did cameras become a thing in schools? But it couldn't have been like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't know when that really started. But
no.
Good.
She's not that old.
I know,
in 2010.
but still, I don't think cameras were at my school.
in 2010.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, you're baby.
Here we go.
She's in middle school in 2010.
No, I graduated from high school in 2010.
Oh, you graduated?
Wow, Courage is
that doesn't make it any better.
It doesn't.
But
It
she's gonna eat this up. Go ahead.
Not.
Come on.
It's still like, wow. I forget how young you are. You're so mature that I often forget your actual
I'm mature now that I'm 33. When I was 32.
32, you was a child. And you did childish things. But now that you're grown,
age gap.
you put away age gap. That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Were you bullied?
I mean, I don't really. I will tell you this. I was only in one physical fight.
You got into a fight?
You got into a fight?
I think I never heard this before.
Amber, do tell.
Y'all, in 3rd grade.
My first fight was in 3rd grade, so those count?
Yeah, I don't actually know now that I think about it what happened. But I was in the bathroom and somebody said something. It was like me and one of my friends and then another girl. And she was just always like just saying stuff, running her mouth. And I don't remember, but I pushed her against the bathroom door and I just like held her there. And I think that was it. I don't think, we didn't go on the ground, nothing like that. We did go to the principal's office. Nobody got suspended, nothing like that. It was just like there was a fight in the bathroom. But that was it. And I never got in another fight. Now, my mouth in a physical fight as an adult, 10.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. I never would have guessed.
When Alan and I would go out, like, in my, like, early 20s. I think we were already married by this time. Because it was, like, all in my 20s. You know, it's like on the weekend, everybody got paid, and everybody's trying to go have dinner, you know. And then you're always going to these little hot spots, like, around with just, like, your core people. Well, we would go out and I would have like 1 or 2 cocktails. One cocktail, I'm already like, I feel it in my face. Like I'm already like feeling it.
That is crazy.
I really am not a drinker. So then if I had like one more, and I think I wasn't a diabetic then, you know, but it was like in my blood, I think. You know, and I think that's why I was diagnosed at 27.
Diagnosis is not the same as not
No,
being.
I know. My
Lord,
parents do that. I know.
So I'm just asking.
No, I didn't know.
That's okay.
If
that's what
I
we're saying.
was,
You didn't know.
I'm unaware.
Because I wonder what science and medicine says, right?
Yes.
Especially with type 1.
Yes.
I always thought type 1 was like childhood. This is something that I got when I was young.
It's laying dormant in your body.
Yeah, even if it goes undiagnosed, it's still like there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, I was just asking for some medical clarity.
I would always order like a sugar-free
I don't
Red
have
Bull.
sugar diabetes.
Sugar-free Red Bull I would get with vodka.
please.
That's what I would drink.
Huh?
I know. a sugar-free
Are you
Red
okay?
Bull.
I'm not judging you.
That's what I would drink.
We listen and we don't judge.
What's wrong with it though? Let's judge.
First of all, I don't understand. What are people drinking? You know what? We're not going to do it.
I don't know. I felt like it was just like the cleanest type of like cocktail because everything else has all these syrups in it. Red Bull has a lot of crap in it.
Did you get wings?
I did not. No. No.
Well, they lied.
I did not fly. But we would be like in some type of bar setting, and if anyone brushed me, I would lose it. You know how you're in a crowded area and one person like bumps up on you? I would turn around and be like, dude, back up. Like I would, I'm just a little person. And Alan's right beside me. He's like, oh my gosh, please stop talking. Do not do that. And he's like, because this is what Amber does. Like if he was saying this, he'd be like, you say something. Then guess who's getting in a fight? He's like, I have to get in the fight. You're not getting in the fight because I'm going to fight somebody for hurting you. And I'm like, well, I mean, like, I would just like, well, yeah, like, there you go. I was like, then don't bump me. You know what I mean?
Know what?
But if somebody also looked at me across the way, we could be at a table at dinner and the other table would be like staring or something. And I'd be like, do you have a problem? Is there something going on?
That right there is some real audacity without a bit of fighting skill at all.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I just always felt scrappy.
Absolutely.
I'm just really, really mouthy. And I can fight. Yeah, I can fight with my mouth. But my physical, I don't think I could last.
Yeah, and here's the problem, kids that are listening at home.
Yes.
You choose your tools for the battle. You don't get to choose mine. So your tools was your mouth. My tools was these hands.
Yeah.
So like that's just like we just got to be aware of that, right? There's a battle happening, and you're like, oh, my tools as I'm quick-witted. I want to start a fight, and my tool is my mouth. Okay, that doesn't mean that the other person has to stick with, oh, we're just gonna have a verbal. No, you started a fight. We all picked up our tools. And we're going to see how your tools work for you.
Yeah.
So don't talk. Don't be writing checks.
Yeah.
That your behind cannot cash.
So I really try to watch my mouth these days. I really am still mouthy. I'm mouthy with people I know. Strangers, I don't go out anywhere anymore. I ignore people.
You definitely mouthy.
I've grown up.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've grown up a bit. That's it. I mean, I wouldn't want to get in the fight, to be honest. I really wouldn't.
It's not a goal in life.
No, I don't want to. Now, the boys are in jiu-jitsu, so we're teaching them to be fighters. Not for this reason, but Cruz like really wants to just like, he's like, anytime he can just like do anything to be physical, he gets so excited.
I know.
You know, he did get in an altercation on the playground. This was like earlier in the year. One of his buddies, I
was a proud auntie, I gotta tell you.
I say this, I don't think you've heard this story, but I say this real loose. His buddy, he's been in school. His parents are like friends of ours. Like we know who they are. So their son, him and Cruz just like butt heads. They do not mesh, and they can sometimes get along, but they just don't mesh. Anyways, and Cruz just has zero tolerance. If he's annoyed, he wants to throw hands. That's all he wants to do. He's not saying anything. He's just going to throw hands.
Yeah.
And so on the playground, something happened in a game, and this kid pushed Cruz or something. I can't remember clearly. Cruz picked him up.
Slow it down. Picked him up. He was off the ground. His feet were no longer on the ground. He picked him up. Okay, continue.
And threw him on the ground.
And threw him. So it was actually up over his head.
So he's Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Listen, and the only reason I know a little bit of description, I wasn't there, but the elementary school principal saw it across the way, and he said, I've never seen anything like it. And he said, I ran so fast because I just knew somebody was hurt.
Yeah.
He said, I've didn't even know he could do that. And we're like, and he said, and I knew that y'all said previously he takes jiu-jitsu, so I knew it was a jiu-jitsu move because I've not ever seen that. So I mean, it was like Cruz he wants to be like MMA, which is like all martial arts type of skills, which he's been in training for like 3-4 years. And so
he probably pick me up and throw me. I mean,
loves
that's
it.
what it's given.
He choked Alan's guys out. They let him, but he got behind him and did like the whole choke thing. And these are grown men. They were like, he can't choke me out. He's like a kid. And they were like tapping.
Oh, yeah.
Alan has a video of it, and I was dead. Yeah, I'm like, oh, he loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves
but
it.
I love that it's being harnessed in an appropriate
we're
setting.
like, yes.
But he also, I know you didn't bring it up, but since I have knowledge, I'll bring it up. He also kind of had like a little altercation.
Oh, what happened?
At the Great Wolf Lodge.
That was funny. When he was like, meet me, when he was really telling those kids to meet me, I was like, he means business.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you are raising a violent child. I'm just saying you kind of got a couple more incidences. They're like stacking up here a little bit.
Meet me at the playground. Meet me at the slide.
Let me tell you what I love.
Really
I understand. Like, I get it. That fighting is not okay. I know that is what we are.
Yeah, we're
say.
not like.
No, don't say what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Hey, speak for yourself.
Well, I'm not encouraging.
She's not encouraging it. But what I'm saying is, we live in a day and age where if your kids are refusing to defend themselves, kids are getting beat up. Kids are getting beat to death. Kids are, young adults are going somewhere and literally refusing to fight back, not even fighting to save their own life. So miss me with that. I hear it. I understand where people are coming from. I'm not from that school. I'm from the school. I'm not saying nuck if you buck, but I'm saying if this is what I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm from that school. But what I am saying is what we're not going to do is just let you.
Absolutely not.
I'm not just going to be rolling over. I'm not just going to allow somebody to be in my space or take advantage or any of that. And when we have this message of like complete nonviolence, then you have kids that don't fight back. My son was bullied. In school, he just refused to fight. I don't know where that came from.
He didn't use his mouth either, or he got quiet.
He just was quiet.
Got it.
And he got bullied in elementary school really bad. I threatened a teacher. They had the resource officer in there. I'm like, I don't care. Some kid punched my son. I think he was in like 3rd or 4th grade in the chest. He went and told the teacher, and the teacher said, ignore it. Okay, I want her to take that same advice when I come to this parent-teacher conference. Because I'm going to come to the parent-teacher conference, and I'm going to slap the fire out you. And what I want you to do is I want you to take that same good old advice that you gave my child. That's what I want you to do, right? And so...
Clock it.
But I would tell him to fight back, and he wouldn't. And so one day he came to me. He's like, Mom, I'm a pacifist, and Jesus was a pacifist. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Like, what? Boy, what? He was like, I'm a pacifist. That means I refuse to fight. I was like, you know what? Michael, get out of my face. He was in elementary school. 5th grade, I got to meet his teacher. As soon as I got there, she was like, I said, hi, this is my son, Michael Molina. And she said, oh, I know exactly who you are. I've heard all about you. I said, oh, good.
Oh, Courage. That's how people treat me at school.
Oh, good. No, this is what good.
That was so my parents.
She's like, we won't have any problems. I was like, oh, I love it for us.
Yeah,
I want you to know it's not a threat. I want you to know that you have a responsibility. I am sending my child to school.
Yes.
You have a responsibility to protect them as much as possible. And that means good classroom management, because that's typically where it comes. There's no good classroom management. So kids can move about and do whatever. There's not a time where they should be moving.
Yeah.
People can move anytime. That's not okay. And I don't want to hear boys will be boys. Don't say that to my son. Don't say that to my daughter. Don't say, oh, well, you just have to ignore it. Don't say that. Because we have grown enough in this world. There's enough information out there for us now that we know that it has a real lasting impact. I was a middle school teacher, and my first year at this particular school, one of the 8th grade boys hung himself over Christmas break.
Yeah, that's a lot.
From bullying.
Because I was about to go there.
Lot of
so we're not going to act like, oh, we're just going to be so cool with you having poor classroom management or administration not taking care of things. I'm telling my kid, if you do what you got to do to come home to me in a school setting, and that's like fight for your life. We saw this video, not a video. We saw this coverage where a young girl, like 18, 19, something like that, went on vacation with her friends, and then they beat her up. When
was this?
This is recent.
It's been a lot of stories of people going out of town with their friends. There's been people that have been, well, for social media purposes, unalive.
Yeah,
that people have.
Yeah, no. Fight.
Are these people like they're like, I grew up with these kids and we hang out?
Some of them,
yes.
Yeah, and so this is what I'm saying. There's a responsibility I feel like you have as an individual and as a mom when it comes to your kids of saying you need to defend yourself. It is okay to fight. You can take these steps. Now, Amber, she don't be telling her kids to take no steps. She like bump telling the teacher if the kid do something, go ahead and handle it right there.
Yeah,
I do say tell the teacher I was in the classroom, so give me a chance. Give me as a classroom teacher a chance to deal with it. And I'll say this, that's one thing that I feel really good about as my time in the classroom. You know, I would go out of town, I would come back to class, and I had a principal pull me aside, and he said, so-and-so got in trouble in your class because there was bullying. And when the girl came down, and I taught high school, he was like, when she came down there, she said to me straight to my face, I can tell you what, if Miss Molina had been here today, none of this would have happened. I'm like, and that's a problem. I love that's true about my reputation.
But why do you have to be there to make it stop?
School fair, like I'm just a lowly little Spanish teacher. Hola, como estas? Why, you know what I mean? Like,
she go with being bilingual. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Hola, como
uno, dos, tres.
estas? Right, that's all I'm doing. And so I do think we have a responsibility. Now, when my son got to 6th grade, he was suspended because he was like, one boy moved his book bag. One boy was pulling him. The other boy was pushing him because they didn't want him to sit where he was sitting. And so he was crying when the assistant principal called me. He was crying. I was like, why is he crying? She was like, well, you know, we're going to have to suspend him. I was like, you got me on speaker? She was like, yeah. I was like, I want you to hear me tell him, I don't care nothing about you being suspended. You did exactly what you needed to do. And you do that every time. I said, so ma'am, I understand you have a school, but I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to take him to Cookout. We're going to get hamburgers and fries. We're going to get a milkshake. And we're going to go by see his daddy at work. So his daddy can be like, what's up? Okay, my boy. What's up, my boy?
What's up,
because
my
we're
boy?
not we are not doing that. I'm like, and he has been getting bullied for a long time, and I'm glad that today is the last day. Let it be known. I said, now I get it. You got to suspend him. Do what you have to do. We're not telling ours to roll over.
Yeah, absolutely not. No.
So I don't condone it. I don't condone fighting, and I definitely hate bullying. But what I stand for is fighting for your life. You have a right to take up space and to breathe in and out and to be in a space. You have a right for that. And if you need to protect that physically, if you need to protect your physical space and your well-being, then do that. Now, somebody looking at me crazy, girl, I don't care nothing about you looking. You can look.
I used to care about that. I used to be like, I used to have a stare-a-thon. Like,
no, I don't care.
I used to, like, that was in my...
I can't.
I'm basically a celebrity in my mind, even since I was a kid. So I see you looking because if I was you, I'd be looking over here too. You trying to take notes.
Now, I'm not going to hold you. A couple weeks ago, I was in the store and this lady she just kept looking at me and I was like, initially I wanted old Jeris was about to be like, hey.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, now I did have that in Paris.
Something on me, like you see something you want on my body, like,
just
hey.
It's obnoxious, right? That's what it is.
But.
What'd you say?
But Holy Spirit kicked in and I approached her. I said, hi, how are you doing? I said, I saw you, looking my way. I said, do I know you from someplace? And she was like, are you Jay the photographer? And I was
like, what if you did go off on her?
Right. What if I did go off on her? So it's like, I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I've been following you on social media for a while. I just love, I just love how you show up as yourself. So I'm really learning how to...
You should have been maneuver. Like, I was about to be myself and I was about to come over here and bump you. Okay?
It was getting very much...
Stalker. Yeah, I think that's the part that gets on my nerves is that I get it. Like, people are maybe looking at you you look familiar.
Right.
I
but
like
just
your
come
outfit.
up to me.
I like your,
I'm very approachable. Just say something.
Yeah. No, they're going to
I'm going to say something. If you are staring, I'm not going to be mad because I don't care like that. I do feel like...
Yeah, because you're grown now.
Because I feel like I'm a celebrity.
We are
First
adults.
of all, let me just tell you this. When I was a kid, I didn't get into fights because people looked at me and said stuff to me. For the most part, right? It had to be... You had to say the N-word. That right there, I took that as great aggression. And if you said something about my mother, I took that as great aggression. Those two things. Outside of that, talking about me and saying stuff about me, I do not care about that. You know why? Because you can't beat me. You mad, but you can't beat me, though. So I didn't care about that. You can't
beat me, though.
I didn't care. Like, you're over there saying whatever. I don't care about that. You talking about me behind my back. I'm never going to come up to you and say, oh, Jeris, I heard you were talking about me. I did not do that because I don't care that Jeris is talking about me.
Yeah.
If you approach me and say, oh, I heard you were talking about me. My name was Taquisha back then. Taquisha, I heard you was talking about me. My response is, Ann. Even if I didn't know you, even if I didn't say anything, okay, so you came over here now. Now you done come over here because you about to get some straightening. Straighten me then.
You know what's so funny about you though is every time I I hear you talking about like a fight or
I'm not going to fight
whatever.
you.
No, it's funny how you like throw like how you do your hands in the air and you're like, pop, 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 pop. Do that right now. Yeah. She's that's all I see every time.
Guys.
When you're telling your stories, I'm imagining you doing that. That's all I see.
First of all, I'm not interested in fighting you, but I'm saying I'm not running from you, and you're not about to come and check me about some nonsense. I'm not doing that. I'm from a small town. I'm from the hood, right? And so in those spaces, the rules of engagement are a little different. And if I am seen to be somebody you can come and check all the time, then you think you're going to be checking me all the time. We're not about to do that. You're not about to be coming over here checking me.
Yeah.
That is not going down. So, you know, in that environment, I did what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? We about to fight. You're not coming over here to ask, well, I heard you was talking about me. Okay, girl, and if I was, you was going to do what? You coming over here with this crowd. You done brought an audience and an entourage.
Like, okay.
Do that. Let's do that then. Let's not do this what we doing. And plus, you know where I live. Like, I lived in the neighborhood. I didn't grow up in this big city.
Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
That's right. So it's no reason for you to try and start something with me in school. One, I got really great grades. Like, I was
smarty.
I was very smart. So
I wish y'all were in school with me. I could have been like,
I got good grades
help me with
as
my
well.
test.
No, we wouldn't have even been in the same class. Let's
Stop.
start there.
we would have been, because y'all are older
would
than
have been
me.
in all the like
because of the age. Hello.
Y'all are older than me. It's the age gap.
You're saying if we were
we
the
still
same
wouldn't have been in the same
age.
class.
Oh,
I was
I'm
in
sorry.
honors
Okay, I got
classes.
it.
We wouldn't have been in the same
Courage,
class.
Love you,
keep
mean
it up
it.
with your shade.
It's not shade.
That is shade.
Shady boots.
That's shade.
Shady boots.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have been. I still could have helped you with your work.
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
Morgan always. I was like, Morgan,
but I'm not going to do your work for you. I'm not doing your work for you. I don't care who you are. Because I love
nobody
learning.
did my work for me.
Okay, because I love learning, and I think like,
nobody did my work
no,
for
you're
me.
smart. Let me just show you how to do it. That's how I felt. I started tutoring in 7th grade.
Yeah,
I tutored in algebra.
Yeah, there was this boy. We were just at awards for the boys, and there was one kid that he just like cleaned house. And he did like well and a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I told his mama, I was like, we might be hiring him for tutoring.
Yeah, and I did. I loved it.
You know, like kids like that. And I'm like, that is kind of cool. But anyways, yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
No, first of all, we couldn't have been friends. We would have been in too much trouble. All that mouth you got, I would have been fighting all the time. Because you would have been talking too much trash. And I would have been like, now what you ain't going to do.
My friend.
And no, exactly. I don't need that. See, the Lord was keeping me. Because that would have been the problem. It wouldn't have been class or classwork.
Knew each other.
We would have been suspended too much.
Yeah, we didn't even live in the same city, though. So it really would have been like, that couldn't have happened. But if we did and still didn't know each other, that would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. All 3 of us in school together? Ooh.
Yeah, we probably would have gotten in more trouble. I talk about that all the time, how meeting people at a certain stage of life is really God keeping. You understand?
100%.
Like, even as adults, like, what if we were friends when I was in my 30s and you were in your 20s and we were out at the, like, are we about to get into a fight? Like, what's up?
Y'all, it really would have been bad news with me.
I know.
Because I would have been like walking in, la, 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 running my mouth, and y'all would have been behind me like, oh my gosh, shut up. Because y'all are going to have to do something.
I love you, but that would be the day I would have to yank you up. I would have to.
No, we're gonna fight them, but we're gonna be fussing and cussing you out in this car on the way back.
I don't know why. I literally don't understand.
I probably would have cussed you out back then.
Yeah, I never got. Nobody ever punched me. Nobody ever like did anything like that. To me.
You.
I think they were just like,
Very
this
much.
little girl thinks
they also
that she's
know
so tough.
People who fight know people who don't fight.
Oh, they're like she
you are talking. I will mush you. I wouldn't swing on a person, but I will. I love a good mush. Sit down somewhere. Not even gonna swing on you. Just a good. And there's nothing more disrespectful than a person having their entire hand
in your face, like,
yeah, that would have
gonna make you more mad,
annoyed,
and like
100%.
Can you imagine?
Mush. A good old mush.
I'm not fighting. I'm gonna mush you. Yeah, no, I don't condone violence. I'm not interested
not
in
at
fighting. I'm just not interested.
Don't condone
violence.
I
don't condone violence
Do not.
at all. I'm not interested in fighting. Not at this age.
Absolutely not.
Even back then, it's not something I ran from. But it was just. This is just what it is.
Yeah.
This is what I needed to do, and so it was fine. But I'm not interested in fighting. I'm like, please, can we not?
Yeah.
Can we just fine? Hate me. Just sit over there and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
don't even
sit
talk
over
me.
there and hate me.
Yeah, sit over there.
From 6 feet.
So like you mentioned, adult bullies. That children I can't wrap my mind around it because I was not a bully when I was young, but I do understand that kids are young and they are ill-equipped to like deal with their feelings and their emotions and communicate. But at this big age, like we're being mean and we're mean girls and we don't like each other and we're bullying. I worked at a job where there was bullying adults.
Child, don't get me started.
Well, I'll bring up this because Courage likes to bring up old memories, which is very triggering.
Are you about to bring this up?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, because you brought up adult bullying, and I think I'm not going to name names.
I didn't think of it.
Yeah, and I'm not actually proud of this at all, but I will tell you, I was bullied as an adult. And
yes,
actually,
you were.
I don't look at it that way, but as you say that, and I'm
me neither until right this second.
Yeah.
Listen, time out. First of all, I didn't think we were going to go there. Second, even when I said adult bullying,
you didn't think about it.
I did not. It never even registered. Even when I talk about it now, it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit until right this second. Yes.
I was trying not to go even when
you were bullied.
Even when I talked briefly about like elementary, middle, and then adult bullies in my video, I was trying hard not to even mention adult bullies because it's like, I feel like as soon as I say the environment,
you think it welcomes it?
No, you think people are going to be able to identify themselves. But this is how I feel. If I don't say your name,
somebody's going to be in my DMs.
If I don't, let me just tell you this right now. If I don't say your name and I talk about an experience that I have, but you know I'm talking about you, that's on you.
Oh, no, wait a second. Yeah. You're thinking somebody's going to DM you.
I don't care about
say
that.
What?
Here's the thing. We here now.
Because let me just, because this is the thing.
I ain't afraid.
Listen, I lived in, and I say this, I hear this all the time from women. I lived an experience. I had an experience.
Right.
This is what you did. I don't have any obligation, not religious or otherwise, to protect your reputation or your identity. Now, I may not go out there and run and say your name and be telling it all over the place.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about being bullied and I'm going to share my experience, okay, I was bullied in this season, and I'm going to share my experience and what it was and how it was. The only people that are going to know the actual particulars are the people who were involved,
right?
Absolutely.
Are the people who were witnesses.
Yeah.
So,
well, since we're here,
I'm not saying that you have to share. That's just my stance on it. Like, get out of here.
No, I mean, I honestly felt that when it was time for me to start telling my story about bullying, I was trying to pick out bits and pieces of what I wanted to talk about.
Which I think is important.
Yes.
But I feel like now I'm at the point where I have to tell everything. And my experience with adult bullying, if truth be told, was in the church.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the bullies started coming.
Can I just speak on that for 2 seconds? Because I find that when you say in the church, in anything, in any situation, people think that should never happen there. Yeah. Do y'all know we're all sinners? And that in the church, we are not safe. And it happens everywhere. So when it's like, oh, I met so-and-so at the church, or I met all this stuff happens. Oh, they're good people. Oh, whatever. I'm like, that's actually not true.
Right.
You can be screwed over and messed with and like shamed in that place, which is really sad, to be honest.
It is very
sad.
Because
there's no,
and I hate that happened to you. But
it started as
there's not a filter. There's no filter. Anybody can come in.
That's crazy.
Anybody can come to the church.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. It's a place for sick people. I shouldn't expect to go. That's why people don't like to go to the emergency room. Why? Because when I get there, I came with one thing. I might leave with something else because all these other sick folk in here.
100.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the mindset that we have to have. I think that your situation is probably different, and I want to make that distinction.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between me letting my guard down and not having a filter when it comes to people sitting next to me.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's on me because everybody's allowed here. There is a very different thing when people are in leadership positions, right? It's a very different thing. Then now there is a reason for me to trust you. There is a reason for me to feel like, okay, there's a real relationship. There's a real something here. I'm safe. I should believe that I'm safe
Right.
with you
Ooh.
because
Yeah.
you are in leadership. That is how it should be. That is the standard set by Christ. That is the standard set by the word of God.
Absolutely.
And so while that may not be true for the sheep, right, which the Bible talks about, there are many who come in sheep's clothing, which means 9 times out of 10, the people that are going to hurt you in church are going to be sheep.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't apply to the shepherd, though. Right. And I think that's where you get where my guard has been brought down. I agree. We still have this lackadaisical attitude because I met you at the church or because somebody says they're Christian. You know, spirit of discerning is a real thing. That is an act of the Holy Spirit. But we have to not, I don't want to say Holy Spirit activate. Holy Spirit activate. I'm not saying you got to activate the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is always active, but I think that you have to engage the Holy Spirit and ask and seek, like sincerely, like pray about it. But we don't typically pray about things that we think are safe. Oh, it's at the church. It's a church thing. It's a church person. This lady, I met her at the church. And so now she's going to watch my kids and she's going to come to my home.
Well,
and
that's also where,
you know
like, not just bullying, but SA happens in church places. Like, my kid was with this person, but they're the XYZ of the church and they're a leader there. So, of course, you're good. That's not true either.
That is not true. I've seen it all.
Horrible.
Yeah. Like, I tell people, you know, I, now more than ever, I appreciate, you know, I'm a preacher's kid, but at the same time, my parents still allowed me, like, they knew balance. So, yeah, they were ministers of the gospel. But let me tell you right now, if it was a Sunday that they didn't want to be there and we're going on vacation, guess where we're going? On vacation.
Right.
They're like, the church will be there when we get back. Like, my, whatever you want.
Your family's first.
Family's first. And I think, too, even when it comes to, like, the bullying standpoint, it wasn't just, you know, the sheep. It wasn't just people sitting in the pews. It was people preaching the word of God. I'm like, not you bullying a teenager. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then of course, when it stemmed into adulthood, I was like, oh, I am grown, so I can say whatever I want. I don't care if you know pastor. I don't care if you know apostle. I don't care if you're a bishop. I don't care if you're none of that.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
There's a lot of manipulation that happens. I don't know if it is just like in charismatic circles or evangelical. Like, I don't know where it happens a lot.
It's insane.
But I think there's a lot of like manipulation of the word and power and that type of thing. Which, by the way, when you use the word to do it is witchcraft, but we're not going to go there. But I think there's a lot of that happens, right? And we're groomed in those spaces. You are groomed.
Oh, I hate that
word. It's the truth. And
I know
it's a very strong word.
I know, it's okay.
It's a strong word.
Close your
and
eyes.
I'm using it
Take a deep breath.
intentionally, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just saying, I know sometimes people say buzz things. No, I mean this, right?
No, because it is what people do.
We're groomed in that space to allow people to manipulate us when we hear things constantly like, touch not that anointed, or honor the man and woman of God, and honor this.
Let's not talk about that word. Now yours is groomed. It's the word honor for me. Yeah. It grinds. Ooh,
and listen, make no mistake about it. Honor is due.
Yes.
There is honor that is due to those who have been called
but people
to push. And there's honor to those there's honor due to those who have been anointed and appointed by God to lead and to shepherd and to disciple and to minister at that level, to raise up leaders, elders, and things like that. There is an honor due, but that honor is not just due the role. It is also it's also required that we live a life above reproach. It's required that we live a life that is worthy of the honor, right? That is due us in those situations. And I think we sometimes confuse the word honor with allow and tolerate and accept abuse. I may not have to retaliate. I may not need to mess up your reputation. I don't have to tell everybody what you did to me, but I have I have a right as a child of the Most High God to not allow myself to be mistreated. David, I know that's who they love to quote, but David did not allow himself.
Absolutely
right.
Not.
He ran. He didn't stay at Saul's castle now he didn't kill him when he had the chance to kill him. He didn't do that to his son when his son was acting up, but he did give space and move and redirect himself and say, you know what, I'm not going to go here, I'm going to go there. Yep. He did try and petition and all those things. Yep. But the other part of that is that's not always the case. Right? It's not always the case. And so we have to get into a place where, again, it's the same thing I said before. I'm not saying to be fighting people and bullying, but you have a right and a responsibility to protect your life. And when I say your life, I mean physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So subjecting ourselves to the bullying, that is so demonic. That is the devil at work, because what happens is that people don't just leave the church. People struggle to continue to have strong relationships with Christ. Yeah. Yeah. So that right there, and being underage, like all of that is mad manipulation. Yeah. Yeah, that's not cool, guys. Yeah.
Crazy. It's not cool.
Do you want to dig into your story or you don't?
Oh, we here now. It is what it is.
I don't know. It's up to you.
I honestly I've always felt the time was coming to where I was going to have to talk about it. Like either way. And I wrestled with it because I was so focused on, okay, what will they say? And it's a good amount of days. So, but now it's just like, we're here. And honestly, it really, I want to cry a little bit.
It's kind of healing to share in a way, but it's emotional.
I think it's more for me like the tears are more like from a freeing place, because I talked about it with certain people. I did talk Courage about it. But now it's like, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question then. What are some things that you allowed that in retrospect you realize was manipulation and bullying? What are some things that you allowed? Like, I did this, I allowed this, and this, and I didn't realize at the time, even though you probably felt it, but Absolutely. You still allowed it. What are some things that you allowed?
It was in multiple churches, control. I think that I literally just went off of what they said, just because they said, I knew God. I'm the shepherd of this house. So because I hear from God and because you're still getting to know God, that takes precedence over what you should do and what you should not do.
And give us examples. What does control look like? So you weren't, because people are listening and somebody might be in a situation and they are unable to identify. So I want us to be able to identify, right? Yeah. So what does that look like? Control in what way? Because what you're saying isn't, right, that'd be the problem. It'd be on the cusp of what is okay. Right now, I am your spiritual leader, and I do hear clearly from God. Right, I've got a stronger relationship, and you are new, and so I'm trying to help you navigate. That is not a red flag in and of itself. That is the responsibility of discipling and discipleship. That's so true. Help us see where there was a crossover.
Yeah, okay. So an example would be, I would say from the control aspect, it would be like my appearance. So I wasn't a provocative dresser by no means, but it was, when I cut my hair. When I cut my hair one time, I'll never forget it. I take that back. I'm going to tell two quick stories. So one time I was still finding myself in my 20s. You play around with your hair, your nails, your style. Yeah. And I'll never forget it. I had, I went and got my hair, then I had the little, the long little bundles. Baby, I was sexy. I had my makeup done, my lashes, and I'll never forget, I got called up to the altar.
During church, I'm sorry.
Yes, during church. Okay. And the leader said to me, they literally said, like, I need the old Jeris to come back. Like, I need the old Jeris to come back. And they came off of the pulpit. And so, like I said, my hair was long. And they literally, Oh God!
Stop it! What happened?
They did. I don't know.
Okay,
but it makes me very nervous.
Yeah, me
so
too.
what they did was when they were like standing right here, and they literally like fanned my lash with their hand. They literally was like, they flipped my hair. They was like, you got your hair done, and then you got these lashes. Like, this is not who you are. But in that moment, I felt like
This
crap.
At church? Are there other
At
people
church.
here?
Yes, there was other people.
People could hear this?
This was a Sunday service.
Let me ask you this.
Oh my
They called you up to
gosh.
the altar, but people were still in Sunday school. And so it was just you and them, and it was an altar.
It was the actual service, like
Yeah, the
Sunday
service.
And there was a mic. There was
a mic.
Girl, I know you lying.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
baby
it was
Jesus.
a mic. And they
So
literally,
now you feel you're on 10, right? I feel so good about myself. I look so pretty. I put myself together.
and I
Now
felt
you're
like
at a 0.
I felt like an ant.
Yeah,
Like
now,
I felt this big.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that? Hearing
This
this
big.
as like I just think, I don't know. I think a lot of things actually.
Trust me, that was a
That's
rough.
a lot.
That's one of many stories. But yeah, that day.
Is this a male or female?
You're doing too much. You're doing too much
You're
right
doing
now.
too much.
You're doing too
You
much
running
right now.
out.
Stop it.
It is a human.
It's a human.
It's a
What does it
human.
matter? Does it matter to you?
Yes.
Why?
I'll hear off air.
Absolutely not.
I wonder.
No.
I wonder if I don't. Let
Well,
me tell you this.
immediately I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's a male. Immediately, I think it's a male.
See, and that right there, that is so great that you said that, because that is more revealing of what you think of men in leadership.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like control. I feel a lot.
That's your trauma response.
It is.
And I say that with love and no shade.
Yeah.
Everything
No
I say,
shade.
she think is shade, but it's not. I'm just making like an
The
observation.
shade was you ain't going to be in the same class as me.
That
That's the
wasn't shade.
Courage, I might not be as smart as you, but we could have been in the same
No, and
class.
you know I
Baby.
think you're smart, so it really
I know.
annoys me when you act like you're not smart. That is what annoys me.
Grinds my gears.
No,
It
but
really does.
You say that, and it makes me think. It makes me think of a man, and I don't know. It could be.
I'm telling you right now, people, are you listening? That is what that is. That's
I
a
mean,
trauma
that's
response.
100%. It could have been a female. Somebody else listening could be like, no, 100% it's a female. Whatever.
It's a human, guys.
It's a human being.
Just know it's a
Great.
human being.
I
Praise
think
God.
that I've seen it both. I've seen both, right, with men and women, and I
Oh,
think
me
it's.
too.
I want the
think
second
it's
story,
deplorable.
though.
Yeah, tell us the second. I think it's deplorable to behave in that manner.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'm not
What
mad.
did your parents say?
No,
I
you
can't.
told your
okay,
parents, but you weren't. You know what? We're not even going to give.
You were a
timeline.
teenager.
Time out.
No,
We're not even.
this
gonna,
one I was-
We're not even.
I
No,
was-
don't do it. We're not even going to give a timeline. We're not going to give a
Really?
timeline.
I just wanna know,
But
was she
what
a
did your?
teen?
Don't do it.
Oh my god.
We're not going to give a timeline.
Right, no
but
timeline.
what? We're not going to do a timeline. But what? How did your parents respond?
Baby, my mom is about that life. Okay? When I tell you, my mom was Courage back in the day, like,
Yeah, she's
and my mom was a cruise pick up kids and threw them back in the day, like, for real. My mom was hot. Ooh,
Did you stay? How long did you stay after that
what's
experience?
Even worse. I stayed.
And
I
what?
stayed.
What did you tell your? I know I got like a million questions. What?
You know what's rude is I have questions. You're like, no.
Well, because you can't,
No,
because
no,
you're
no,
trying
no,
to,
no.
because what
you
you're
want,
gonna do,
you want the
is gonna
details,
be exposing,
and
I'm just
right.
trying to stick on like,
We ain't
I'm just
exposing
trying to stick on the
nothing.
lessons.
Y'all
and-
know how hard this is for me right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I know.
because we know, because I
we know
know
you.
I know where your questions are going, and we're not gonna do those questions.
You're not
on
about to
air.
be looking up nobody on Facebook and Instagram and be
Exactly.
like, first of all, she's talking about you or he's talking about you, but what did they have on today on this page? They look no.
Exactly. So
We
it's not. So
know
just
you.
so y'all know, we're not just shutting her down.
She's
for
our
no
security
reason.
guard.
We know where she's trying to go, and we're not doing it. So I
She
just would
doesn't
like
play
for us
about
to
us.
stay
Yeah,
on topic on the
gonna stay
the
on the
lessons. The lessons that can be pulled from here.
this
and
ain't
so,
lessons. This is a podcast.
No.
This is a gossip. The tea.
That is
go ahead.
diabolical.
We ain't
This
doing
is not
it.
gossiping tea,
This
guys.
is not gossiping tea.
We're not trying to give lessons. Okay, next story.
We are
Are
because
we?
I,
We're trying to
we
give
in
lessons,
this in this
yes.
story, yes, because I think it's a thing that happens, and we've talked about this before.
It happens
I think it's
all
a thing
the
that
time.
happens,
Yeah, it
and
does.
so when this happens to you, what is it that goes on in your mind that says, "Oh, I'm going to continue to come to this church, and I'm going to continue to stay under this leadership"?
It was Yes. Okay. So y'all remember from The Lion King?
Mm-hmm.
Deception, discretion.
Is it the new one? Oh, Lion King original.
I think it was the second one.
Okay.
I don't know.
But basically, honestly, that's what it was given. And I feel like because I was really real zealous and excited about my walk with God and me finally getting back to that place, I was like, oh, okay, this, like, it was given, brush it off. But then it started to continue and continue. And I was like, sis, you didn't grow up in a house where disrespect was tolerated. So why are we accepting this?
Right.
Like, but I was so lost in, I was just lost. Like, lost, depressed, angry. So then that caused me to be angry with every church. Oh, I'm a pastor. I'm out.
Well, yeah, okay.
Oh, Lord.
Are you self-correcting now?
I'm just holding back. It's just...
She's like, let's hurry up and be done with this podcast so that I can turn off the mics and then I can get the information that I need.
No, it's just giving almost like cult to me in a little
absolutely,
bit. Yeah, it's
that's the perfect word.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
It's giving, no, this is how you should do things. This is how you should look. This is how you should talk. This is how you
because
should.
If you don't, you're going to hell.
Yeah, you're done. Like, the Lord is so disappointed in you. Like,
I was told that a lot too. That the
gosh.
Lord is angry with me. Yeah. Yeah, and I believed it for years, like 10. I'm gonna say 10 plus. Since we're talking numbers, this is the most numbers you're gonna get from me. 10 plus.
Angry with you. What were you doing that the Lord was angry with you?
I mean, let's be real. I mean, was I out here fornicating, busting it low and spreading it wide? Was
Screaming,
busting it low and spreading it wide?
You never heard that?
First of all, no.
Fornicating. I was out here with the men's, honey.
I know, but you were not like Hoochie Mama. You were not doing all the things.
Why are you saying that? She just said that. She literally just said,
"But why?"
Yeah, she literally used.
That sounds like stripper.
Well, well, maybe that's what it was given. Maybe she wasn't. It
wasn't with everybody, but I mean.
Yeah,
you mean you got options?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Amber's like, no, you never. Literally, somebody's saying, I used to be this. Amber's like, no, you weren't.
Yeah. Oh, who's Lassie? This is Lassie. No, that's not Lassie. Stop it, Courage.
That's Cassie. What?
Yeah.
No, that's Lassie. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like I wasn't doing anything quote unquote out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out here wilding out. Now I had limits. I still feel like there was still a level of conviction where it's like, okay, you gonna go right here, but you ain't going out here. You got to reel it back. But I feel like I was not doing anything, like I said, out of the ordinary. I was in my teens and in my 20s,
right?
And I think it's important. I think it's not out of the ordinary as a woman who had 3 kids before she was 21. So I'm definitely not judging, right? But when you are in, like, we're in these Christian spaces, there does need to be some type of like guidance and correction. I don't know that I necessarily love that particular strategy, but I think there does need to be something, because here's the thing: we change our behavior because of our relationship with Christ, not because we go to church, not because somebody told me this is what I have to do. But if you can help me to get in my word and walk with me and show me love and grace, this word will change me. The Holy Spirit will change me. You don't have to worry about behavior modifications. You can say it. You can say, like, this is not appropriate. You realize that's not appropriate. Okay. And when you do this, this is what you open yourself up to. That's it. Yeah. You don't have to, like, nobody needs to feel judged or condemned, like they're going to hell. They need to be able to look back
about every Sunday.
And let me ask you this, because sometimes you feel like that in the moment because you are young and immature, but looking back, you realize, like, oh, that really was protection. How do you feel now at this age, where you are with Christ, how you are, you in your Jesus bag right now, baby.
Baby, I ain't playing about
when God. You look back at that guidance now, do you still feel like it was condemning and it was harsh and it was more detrimental than discipling?
I feel like it'd be 50-50. No, 60-40. Because I would say the 60% would be more so from the... I'm just basically trying to control what you're doing. I feel like the 40% would be... A lot of it, some of it was needed in reference to like biblical principles and learning to stand on what the word of God says, you know, to apply it to your everyday life. But that other 60%, I am not your child. Yeah. I am here to, you know, serve, do whatever I need, whatever the Lord's calling me to do. But outside of that, we really should not have anything else to talk about. But I feel like as well, sometimes when it comes to leadership, when relationships are formed outside, sometimes you can become too familiar with each other, which also causes those boundaries to be out the window.
Yeah, I just read that this morning actually on somebody's Instagram where he's like, I don't want to be anyone's favorite pastor, or I don't want to be your favorite pastor. Did you see that? And it was like a carousel, and I think that's part of my problem, honestly. I think that was for me this morning, so I can like check myself. I don't know that I want to be people's favorite pastor, but some of the things that he was talking about, like becoming so familiar, and when you become familiar, then you're not as effective. You don't have the same impact and that type of thing, because familiarity does breed contempt. That's what they say, and that is what I feel like I've experienced.
It happens sometimes.
Right. There's not like a clear cut boundary. And I think that as leaders, you know, we have to be willing to say, you know what, I've been doing it this way, and I can see that this is kind of problematic. Yeah. And so I need to kind of make some adjustments. So I love that you said that you know, it was like part of it was this relationship that we had, and there were these blurred lines. And so as a result of it, it kind of gave way to people feeling like they had some type of ownership that they didn't actually have. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, I hear that. That's crazy though.
So that's really like the gist of it. And I think now it even though all of that happened within the vast of 10 plus years, I still believe that it taught me. It's just crazy how now I'm walking into the space of, she about to smile, in the space of leadership. So it taught me, I can't believe I just said that on camera. Can you cut that out?
Yes. No, we're not cutting it.
I ain't cutting nothing.
I think for me, it taught me like, okay.
I'll probably cut that clip. Cut that.
Cut it. Yeah. Cut it. Cut it. Wow. Sorry, everybody's gonna see it. I'm back. Matt, show it all, because we here now. We here. I do feel like one thing it did teach me was like how I wanted to lead and how I did not want to lead. So I am and I know my team is coming with business and everything, but I just know like I need to basically, I'll know how to steward not only the position that they'll be assigned to with me, but also to steward like their heart. Because I feel like if you don't steward somebody's heart and they're working close with you, it's not going to work. Because I feel like with leadership, there's still a level of, there's a level of trust and safety. Yeah. And I feel like when somebody feels safe with you, like they're able to be more effective with how they operate. So I feel like, you know, I learned a lot, you know, of good leadership and bad leadership, and I'm a stick beside the good leadership. Yeah. So now it's like, even though I've heard some people say, well, if I were you, I would have became this, and this. It's like, yeah, but that's you. I feel like the blessing in all of it was that I did not leave God.
Yeah. Right.
Because I've heard he didn't leave you.
He didn't leave me. Come on, clock it.
And
so so I think that's a biggie, was that I did not.
Biggie, can't you say?
Wow. Wow.
First of all, those are the only lyrics she knows of that song.
She don't know no songs.
I know.
No, she knows just like 3 little words. That's it.
3 little words. That's it. So so that is, y'all, this was so freeing to get this out.
This was good.
I'm glad you talked about it. I've never heard that.
And I'm surprised you talked about it.
Oh, so
Well, hopefully, honestly, truly it is. It's therapeutic to speak on it, but
yes,
in a sense of how can I help someone else? Because there is.
Oh, so now we are helping people. Okay.
I mean, come on, we want people to walk away from it like, yes.
Inspired.
But I will end on this of a situation that I was in as an adult that I should have cut out sooner than I did. I allowed another adult into my life, into my space. I had a studio space, had it for 5 years, and many, many years of women coming in and out all the time. And this was in the midst of Courage and I were new friends, but like new friends.
I wasn't her friend.
Shut up.
Oh my!
So Aggie.
It's so much love in this circle.
There is.
I feel
so Aggie. But this girl came in and a lot happened. Like, we had rental properties. Her parents ended up needing a space to rent, and we ended up having them in our home, like in one of our homes. We opened that up for them, and we didn't do like this extensive background check. We're just like, get in, pay your bills, like take care of the place. You know what I mean? Like, we just did all these things, not to give favors, but we just wanted to bless someone. Like, how can we do that? And just be smart with our properties. And so this woman held that over my head. Like, also,
it was wild.
It was absolutely wild. And
wild.
Yeah, and we'll have to do another episode.
Yeah, we need to do a whole. First of all, we need to do an entire episode
on that.
On like that, like
just the stories.
Things.
Can I be there?
Things that we've done.
You can.
How we've gotten
100%. You can be there.
Because I thought that was that situation to me. Let me just tell y'all this.
But hang on, I want to tell the Office thing.
Girl,
and then we got
I know you about to tell about this Office. Oh!
Yeah, and so she also, we would do a lot of things. My past life in beauty, I don't talk about it a lot because it is very triggering.
See my face?
Yeah, and so we did some type of event, and we would all get together and somehow, some way meet a ton of people. And in that way, we would all just go like, okay, these could be potential clients. How do we want to now market to them?
Dun, dun, dun.
So I would be in the office and I would be constantly, I made a great living doing what I did. And I would always be like careful when I did events with people, and I'm like, these are your people, these are mine. And we would just kind of like, how's you work with your people? Alan, keep your shady eyes to yourself. Alan's coming in. And so
Alan said what he said.
I was by myself in the studio, and I was by myself a lot, by the way, and it was so annoying. But when people were like, I'm coming into work today, I'd be so excited. I was like, yes, come in. I'll be in the office. You can be here. We can just kiki, whatever, and work. So she would come in, and I never felt unsafe with her. She was just always on 10 for no reason. It's cold in here. It's hot in here. The chair's wrong. She'd be like, who didn't clean up their stuff? I'm like,
what's going on here?
I'm out of 10 already. You've got to calm down. She came in the office one day and I was working. I was on the phone. She cornered me. My office space, you walk in a room and there's no exit. My desk is at the furthest point of this room. I have no other exit space. And
she's calling it a room, but it's really like a repurposed large closet.
It really was.
It's very narrow. Slim. It was very narrow. So there was no walking around a person. We are going to go in single file line to get in and to get out.
I know you lying.
Okay? No. So I'm in there and I'm on the phone. Supposedly I was talking to Angel at the time. I don't really recall, but I was definitely not talking to a client. And I was on the phone and I had my list of my women, my prospects and things that I was kind of working with. And she comes in trying to get the list, and she is accusing me of not sharing information or not giving her the right list or calling her people or whatever. And she's over. I'm sitting just like this, and she's over me standing up. And I just felt hot. Like, my past life was, I'm going to run my mouth. But with her, I thought, I will be arrested. And that's all I thought about. We are downtown. The cops are like, I could touch someone walking by.
They out in the parking lot giving us a ticket right now.
Yes. I'm like, I literally, if we're fighting, I will go to jail. And then I will have to, it'll be a whole thing. So all I thought about was, also, I got to get my kids from school in a couple hours. Like, I'm just trying to like get my life together in 2 seconds. And she is over me, accusing me and running her mouth and like saying all types of things, which I can't recall. I don't really know all the things.
I'm glad you can't recall.
And then I just said to her, I kept turning to her and I was like, get out of my face. Get out of my studio. Leave. Like, that's all I could say on repeat. And so she finally like leaves and she's like running her mouth and she gets out. She shuts the door. I'm in there and I'm like shaking. And it's just a lot. She immediately calls Courage.
She does.
And tells her everything that
she
happened.
actually tells me the same exact thing that you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Which is what blew my mind. Because
Yeah.
she told me, like, she told the story, the same thing you're saying. That she came in, you were in there in the office, you said you were talking to your sister, and that you were in there divvying the stuff up. She told me she stood behind you and that she leaned over you. She told me that you put your, she told me the
I'm
same
putting my
exact
hands
stories.
up like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
I didn't touch her.
Because when
but
she
I'm
said
like, "Get
when
out of
she
my
told
face."
me you put your hands in her face, I'm just trying to get the logistics.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? Because first of all, I don't know how you're getting close enough to me to put your hands in my face.
Yeah, why are you so-
So I'm trying to figure out, how did you get
Yeah.
your hands in her face? And she was like, well, I was leaning over her. I was like,
Yeah, like
back
if you
up.
were right here and I'm like, oh my gosh, stop. Like, it's too much.
She's like, and I was telling her, I was like, were you yelling at her? She was like, yes, I was yelling at her because I'm not going to let somebody da-da-da-da. I told her right then, I was like, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now. Because you're telling me this like you're the victim, but I would have beat the dog snot out of you.
Yeah, you would have. You
I would
100%
have tore that. When I say I would have tore that office up, I would have tore that office up. Back then too, baby, I would have tore that office up. My husband would have been up there talking about, girl, now I got to fix this office back up. Let me tell you why, because I can't get out. This is problem number one. I'm in this seated position.
Yeah.
You with your aggression, you are yelling at me like this. I'm in here by myself. We've had enough run-ins with you complaining about me, whatever. Now you are leaned over in my face. I am asking you to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know she said you asked her a lot of times. I'm telling you, I don't have that many times in me.
Oh, yeah, I just
and
kept
I'm
thinking,
pushed up against
she's gotta
because it
go.
was narrow. It's narrow in that room. I ain't got that. I'm like, girl, I would have you would got an elbow to your teeth, and I would have tore that office up. She's like, oh my gosh, Courage. I'm like, nah. And me and Amber wasn't even that cool back then. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't have a problem with you, but I hadn't put you on the friend list yet. But I'm like, oh, she crazy. I thought you were crazy. That's why I think I didn't think we were friends, because I'm like, something wrong with her, because ain't no way, because be calling me, oh my. You're gonna
Now I have to
that.
edit. I'll bleep it. Wow.
Because the young lady would be calling me those.
You said names. Wow. And she was the one
that said
who was talking about
don't say names. I know.
I don't, because honestly, this is why I don't like to say names. I'm not giving them any spotlight.
No, and I don't think I should say names either. I agree, but it just came out.
Okay.
Because she used to call me all the time and tell me about your exchanges, and I would always say,
child,
girl. And me and her used to hang out.
Yeah.
We were closer to being friends than you and I were at that time. She was coming out to my house and all that. We were chilling. But every time she would call me and tell me something, I would be like, are you okay? Yeah. I'm like, oh, and I thought you were crazy. I was like, I used to say all the time, oh, she crazy. Oh, Amber crazy. You know the black saying, oh, she better than me. Better her than me. Oh, if she like it, I love it. Because I thought there is no way. And then I found out from her all the stuff that's going on, all this trash she's talking about you, all these altercations y'all are having, all this stuff is going on.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this is going on behind the scenes, though. Even though she's talking all this trash at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't even know most of it that's going on.
You kept her family off the street, which you never told me.
Yeah.
I never knew that you had moved her family in because they were going to be on the street. It wasn't just
drops
like...
mic.
Right, listen, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And she was telling me all this stuff. She was the one who eventually told me that is what you did. And I was like, then that's when I knew she was crazy. Because I was like, nah. So this girl is doing all of this stuff for you. And you talking all of this trash about her. And she doing you a solid right now as we speak, and has been all this time. And your family. I was like, girl, your people would be on... Back then, not now, I would do the right Christian legal thing. But back then, baby, your mama them, your daddy, baby, they would have been on the streets.
Yeah.
There's
what?
no
One
way.
more time?
Streets.
I will say this too, because I think to myself a lot. People are like, well, you probably did that because y'all worked together and maybe like she made you a lot of money or whatever. She didn't make me 2 cents.
Not a dime.
She didn't make me 2 cents. You know what she cost me? My life a lot. Stress, anxiety.
Yeah.
Well, I have text messages that were like constantly like just threats and anger, and she would harass and call me.
I just sent you some from my memories.
I told her stop. I was like, you gotta stop sending me messages.
The phone does the memories on its own. And I'm like,
I can't do it.
Oh my God. I totally forgot about that.
A lot.
It's a lot.
No memory.
We'll do a whole podcast on like we can call it like something. I don't know.
It needs to be like all the things
that happen at the studio.
The studio. Yeah.
That's what you should name it. The studio.
But Olivia was there. Olivia and I were very close then, and Olivia was trying to convince Courage that I was the best. And
she was, and she was like, "She's not great." I'm like, "She all right."
But Olivia knew how crazy this girl was.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But we just kept it like. I mean, she ain't like physical to it. Right. But it finally got to a point where she just had zero boundary with us.
Yeah.
And she would even act out in front of clients. And I'm like, this is my space. What? My customers are here. And I'm doing a wedding. And
for the record, I don't have any communication with her anymore.
I know.
It only took one time for me. That's what I'm saying.
Well, stop, because I will end on this. Courage invited me to go to dinner for like her birthday dinner.
It's my birthday. I invited everybody.
Yeah, everybody was invited.
And I initially invited her.
Yeah, true.
But she just had so much stuff going on, and then that thing happened. I had invited her before that thing happened. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm planning my birthday like in June.
Yeah.
Right? In the summer. I want you to get your mind right. December 23rd, okay?
Oh my gosh.
We're going to put my Amazon wish list in the show notes.
I want to make sure
everybody puts it in the chat like 12 times.
Right, like that's how I am, really celebrating. And so I had invited her, and then when the time came around, I actually didn't disinvite her. I just did not remind her. Right, I was like, there's no way she remembers, and so I just didn't remind her. Right, and so we went out to dinner, and I posted pictures and stuff because I'm grown, and that's when she reached out to me, and she reached out to me on some crazy stuff. Well, I guess this and that right there. I don't have a lot of that now. That's what I ain't got a lot. And I tried in that conversation to help her understand, like, I get where you're coming from. However, nobody's going to show out where I'm at. Let's be clear. Today is my birthday. It's all about me.
It's my birthday.
Right. And we're not going to do any of that. So I'm like, I did not invite you, but I was okay with you not coming.
Yeah.
I didn't choose your side. Actually, I chose the side of like, what is going to be calm, what is not going to be a problem. I don't want any problems where I am.
Yeah.
And if you are going to be a problem, I feel like you checked yourself out, And so that was it. That back and forth. You're not about to go back and forth with me about who I invited to something. Like, girl, like I ain't got it in me. I don't have it in me. So that was it for me. It wasn't even like a big thing. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm good on you.
Because last time I checked, this is my birthday.
I'm good on you.
Added extra,
and there's a type of environment that you want. There's a vibe that you want.
Absolutely.
And I'm not, if I had invited her and I thought she's going to be able to behave herself, you just don't like her, and you had decided not to come, then that would have been on you. Because a person doesn't have to like me. I'm still going to show up if I'm invited to something. But I did not believe that was going to be the case. I felt like she would use that opportunity to address you in some way or to confront you. And I wasn't trying to protect you. I just feel like that's mad disrespectful to the host. Already. Like, I'm about to knock you out because you beefing with her because this is my event. Like, what you doing, fam?
Yeah.
I just didn't want that. So, yeah.
Run up, get done up. Run up, get done up.
Yeah.
If we beefing, I got you. Wow. I don't think that you want to, but if you want to.
I don't know the song, but I need to know it.
Can't you even sing that much of the song on the show?
I don't know. I'm probably going to get copyright.
Nah.
I don't get monetized on this yet. All right. Well, you guys, this was really fun. We're going to cut it before it cuts us. I keep looking at my thing. I was having some issues with my audio, and I switched the SD. I hope it's going to be fine because I'm like, it makes me a little nervous. This was a great podcast. Thank you, Jeris. Where can everybody find you?
Okay, y'all can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. It's Jeris, Jeris, Jayy. Don't forget the extra Y because some people be... Anywho, that's where you can find me. All the things, content, all the things, photography. Let's see. Lifestyle, Lens, and Laughter is who I am. So, yeah. Check me out.
Is that new? Lifestyle, Lens, and Laughter? I love that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Lifestyle,
That's really
Lens,
good.
and
That's
Laughter.
her, too, right? Yeah. I love that.
Thanks. Y'all making me blush.
We always have like 1,000 meetings about stuff and like things just come up. But lifestyle, lens and laughter is literally lit. God, that's good.
I love that.
Everybody knows where to find
Shout
Courage.
out to my mentor because she gave me that. She helped me because I needed to.
Yeah,
bring it together. But
such a good conversation. Jeris is going to have to come back because this was really fun.
This is good.
And
don't make me cry on the next one.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Who knows
where it's going? I love people are like, how do I plan for the podcast? And I was like, well, there's no plan. If you don't want it to be aired, don't say it. Now I got to freaking edit and bleep a name. It's fine. I listen. I do listen to the whole episode.
Do you have to?
I'm not giving anybody light.
We're not giving credit to the enemy.
I hear you. I
was
just
so
hate
churchy.
You know how I hate editing.
No, I listen to the whole episode anyways because I want to make sure the audio didn't like
so you can
jack
just like,
up.
meh.
Yeah, I'll be like, beep. Yeah. You'll be like, who's she saying?
Both of us were like, oh my God.
And I was sitting there like, I don't even know the person.
I'm gonna take that clip too and I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna make it like slice it for short. That'd be cute.
I'm so
okay,
sorry.
everybody can find you where, Courage?
I'm Courage Molina everywhere. That's where they can find me. You can find me on Instagram, on TikTok. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, all the things. I am who am I? I am Courage Molina, pastor, Bible literacy advocate, and founder of She Knows the Word. Holla.
Holla. Ooh, it's like y'all do this for work or something.
Right?
Missy Elliott, holla.
People stop me now.
Is it listen or people stop me now? Listen
Listen
to me now.
Listen to me now.
And then why'd you say people stop me now? Because that's also a lyric.
It might be. I might also
Do
made
you
it
not
up.
know? Yeah.
Well, first of
I
all,
told y'all, honey, skirt. Y'all can stop me now.
I am on my
Holla.
40th birthday. You guys, I did post this on my stories.
yeah, stop sending
y'all.
me. Stop
Please.
tagging
Please.
me
Yeah.
Tag
in
me.
videos that
Why?
we are not going to do.
No. I don't want to do it. I want you
Oh.
to come with that energy.
Oh, I'm
You
too
already
old.
know we are.
I know. I'm tagging y'all so y'all know that. Duh.
I'm too old.
But that's
for
who
that.
we are.
Other people, you will not be invited if you can't
Oh
keep
my
the same
God.
energy. I put that on my stories.
I saw it.
But y'all already know I'm a big ball of energy.
Yeah,
anyway.
people are like, what are y'all going to do? And I'm like, we're having a DJ. We're going to dance. It's going to be so fun. Oh, my gosh. Well, and I'm like, well, you ain't coming. So,
Oh my
I don't
gosh!
know
So
why
if you
you're
don't
not-
want to dance, don't come.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be filming us while we're dancing. It's
No,
gonna be-
I think we're going to collect phones at the door.
I think that's the
and
way
I
to
think
do
I'm going
it.
to have to oh, Jeris, you're going to have to be in on it. I can't hire you for that because you're going to have to be in on it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to have somebody else take all the footage.
And you know what? I'm cool with that because if the truth be told, hold on, somebody's at my door. Like
Somebody's
what?
at your door.
Oh, is it like the maintenance or something?
Oh, yeah. We got to go.
Yeah, we
all right.
gotta
This
go.
has been a great podcast, you
my
guys.
gosh.
Make sure you subscribe. You're the best. See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Oh my gosh.